Welcome to Book to Blueprint, where powerful books become practical blueprints for real life. You do not need more information, you need execution. This is Book to Blueprint. Today we're doing more than just summarizing a book about public speaking. We're actually going to build a blueprint. This is straight from the source, Chris Anderson, the head of TED, and it's designed to turn anyone, yeah, even you, into a seriously powerful speaker. All right, so here's our game plan. First, we'll nail down the core outcome, what you're actually trying to achieve. Then, we'll get into the big idea that powers every great talk. After that, it's all about action, the operating system, a step-by-step plan, the habits you need to build, and, of course, the common mistakes to watch out for. Let's get into it. Okay, first things first. Before you even think about slides or an opening line, you have to know your destination. What is the one thing you absolutely must achieve? Well, here it is, straight from Chris Anderson. Your mission isn't just to talk. It's to take an idea that means the world to you and to literally rebuild it piece by piece inside the minds of your audience. So think about that. It's not a performance, it's an active construction. So if your job is to build an idea in someone else's mind, it had better be a good one, right? That brings us to the absolute heart of every great talk. It all boils down to this one phrase: an idea worth spreading. Now, what does that actually mean? It means it has to be something an audience can grab onto, something they find valuable, and something that might actually change them. And here's the crucial part. It's a gift, not a sales pitch. Your whole mindset has to be about giving, not taking. All right, we've got our goal and we know what kind of idea we need. Now let's install the operating system. These are the core principles that make the whole thing work. These 5 things are non-negotiable. First, find your through line. That's the single connecting thread that holds your entire talk together. It's your anchor. Next, you have to make a real human connection. Be a little vulnerable, actually look at people. Then explain things clearly and tell powerful stories, because that's how our brains are wired to remember things. And maybe the most important rule of all, park your ego. This is not about you. It's about the idea you're sharing. Okay, time to get super practical. We're going to turn all that theory into a concrete step-by-step plan that'll take you from a rough idea all the way to a finished talk. We can break the whole journey into 3 main stages. First is the foundation. This is where you get crystal clear on your message. Second is preparation, the real nuts and bolts of building and practicing. And finally, the moment of truth, on stage where you deliver with impact. Let's break each of these down. Let's start with the foundation. So, what do? You define that through line, your core idea, in 15 words or fewer. Simple, right? And when do you do this? Before you do anything else. Seriously, no slides, no script, nothing. And how do you know you've succeeded? When you can state your core message clearly and concisely, just like that. Next up, preparation. This is where the work really happens. You're going to decide if you want to script your talk or just use bullet points. Create your visuals, and I mean simple visuals, and rehearse, rehearse, rehearse. This is your focus for the weeks and days before the talk. Success looks like this. You know the materials so well, you're not just reciting words from memory, you're actually communicating the meaning behind them. And finally, you're on stage. Showtime. Your job now is to use everything you have, your voice, your body language, your eye contact, to bring that idea to life. And when does this happen? In the moment, right there with the audience. And you'll know you've nailed it when you can feel that connection, when you see that your passion for the idea has become their inspiration. Okay, that's the plan, but a plan is useless without the right habits. Let's talk about the recurring behaviors that separate the good speakers from the truly great ones. First habit, you have to rehearse relentlessly. And I don't mean just a few times. We're talking hundreds of times. The book talks about Jill Bolte Taylor, who gave that mind-blowing talk about experiencing a stroke. She said she relived that story in every single practice session. That intense repetition is what made her delivery so incredibly authentic and powerful. Second habit, you need to get feedback from real people, a lot of it. The goal is to rehearse in front of others at least 25 times. Science writer Mary Roach did this, and she said it was how she found the talk's natural rhythm and flow. You just can't get that kind of insight when you're practicing alone in your room. And a third habit is really more of a continuous journey. You have to find your style, not someone else's. Don't try to be Steve Jobs or Brené Brown, be you. Audiences can spot a fake a mile away, but they connect deeply with authenticity. Your unique voice is your greatest asset. All right, for the final piece of our blueprint, let's talk about what not to do. Knowing the traps is just as critical as knowing the right steps to take. Look, Every great talk is a series of good choices. So don't give a sales pitch, give a gift of knowledge. Don't just ramble on with random stories, tell a story that has a clear point. Don't try to perform inspiration, be genuinely passionate, and the inspiration will follow. And please, don't use your slides as a teleprompter. They're there to enhance your ideas, not to be a crutch. Chris Anderson puts it perfectly. He says, "The future is not yet written. We are all collectively in the process of writing it." This blueprint, these are the tools you need. This is your pen. It's your guide to writing your own chapter and sharing your idea with the world. So there's an empty stage waiting. An audience is out there. The only question left is, what's the idea that you are going to share? If you have a book in mind that should be added to our list, comment below. If this blueprint helped you, subscribe, like, and build with us. More blueprints are coming. Stay intentional, stay consistent. We are doing this one book at a time. And remember, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So share this with them and grow together. Real progress becomes stronger when it is shared. Build your life one blueprint at a time. You do not attract what you want, you attract what you do.